What is happening there, J-Game Dude here, and I'm going to be talking about the KC Cup, or the Kyber Corp Cup in Master Duel. Now, it's going to be running between, let me look, it was, I think, 10th to 13th of November, or something like that, for like 3 days. Anyway, the timing really doesn't matter too much. What I'm actually wanting to talk about is the reward and the way in which Kyber Corp Cup is handled. So how the KC Cup is handled, because it's never been the most ideal method or manner of way in which to do a tournament, but we'll just kind of jump right into it. So essentially, you've got, stage 1, you play through duels, you get points, and then you increase your D level, and with each D level that you go up, you get a bunch of different rewards. Stage 2 happens and all the rest of it, but the most important part is this reward here. The player for achieving the top spot, the spot of number 1 global after the rankings, will receive a World Cup invite, allowing them to compete in the World Championships, and then the rest will get KC Cup points. Now, what does this mean? So essentially, whoever is ranked number 1 in the KC Cup here in Master Duel will actually be able to participate in the World Championship of Yu-Gi-Oh! For 2024, if I remember right, and there's no details at the moment, but they are most likely going to be participating in the Master Duel portion. And the thing that kind of really, don't get me wrong, the stages and junk look cool, it would feel great to be able to participate at a World Championship level, to be invited there to play. But in order to be able to even do that, you need to, for 3 straight days, because that's how long the KC Cup goes for, you need to keep constantly doing nothing but just sitting down and playing Yu-Gi-Oh! So this is very much inspired by Team APS's video on their second channel, Team APS Amplifier, about how unreasonable it is to expect someone or people who are super uber hyper competitive to just stay awake for 3 days straight, just doing nothing but playing Yu-Gi-Oh! And that's kind of a really insane thing when you really think about it. In no way is it truly ever going to be worth it, even if you do actually win and go to wherever the next World Championship is going to be in 2024. Regardless of that, it doesn't change the fact that you just sacrificed so much for a few days in order to try and even be able to be there. And keeping in mind, and here's a bit of a Yu-Gi-Oh! Reference, there can only really be one. There can only be one. Simple as that. Everyone else would have just spent their time doing a whole lot of nothing. So if you kept trying over and over again only to fall number 2, I feel really, really bad for you that, you spent 3 straight days doing all that you can in order to just play more Yu-Gi-Oh! Because, the idea is that you'll gain points by winning duels, and you'll lose points by losing duels. And essentially, you need to try and do as much as you can to try and rack up as many wins as possible. So it's more about the speed and quantity of duels you're doing rather than the actual quality. Are you actually using a variety of different types of cards? Are you able to make use of various types of archetypes and things like that? And the reason why I'm bringing this kind of stuff up is that, in order to make things a little bit better, as Paul said in his video on Team APS Amplifier, rather than doing a 72-hour series of just nothing but duels for 3 straight days, it would be easier to do it just for 24 hours. Granted, people are still going to be hyper competitive and keep constantly playing, over and over and over and have nothing more to do. But then, if you were to do it across multiple days, how about in putting more of a point system in, kind of similar to what Duel Links does, where, and I'm not talking about KC Cup for Duel Links, I'm talking about how Duel Links works in general, where you play a spell card, you play a trap card, you set cards, you make use of effects, and you get sort of additional you get points, and that'll give you additional rewards at the end of each duel that you do in Duel Links. So rather than with Master Duel, going through as many duels as you can across a specified period of time while trying to win as many of them to earn points. Why not limit the number of duels that each person can do to like maybe say 10 duels a day max, and then like however many points you get for being able to play creatively, to be able to make use of various archetypes, being able to pull off some great plays, like have that be the actual criteria for being able to play well, play successfully, you know, be able to do a decent amount of burn damage, whatever it may be. Like however you play the game, make it so that the most creative players are able to rank up and get higher up in that in the rankings and things like that. So that's kind of the thing that I was like thinking like might be a better alternative, is limit the number of duels per day and make more creatively fulfilling plays what you would like to do, because quite a lot of you know, Yu-Gi-Oh duelists that are very well known in the community, that are also YouTubers, like they will keep playing and eventually get burnt out of playing, and in fact you just don't enjoy playing that much anymore, and ultimately that kind of hurts your enjoyment of Yu-Gi-Oh. So the idea then just becomes you're not even playing for fun anymore, you're just playing just because. And yeah, there's going to be some of that in an incredibly hyper competitive nature, but like being able to, when I go back to one of my previous suggestions about having more creatively fulfilling plays, that might make the game more interesting and more fun. Just shutting down your opponent might be more of a detriment. You know, you could do a lot of really creative things to really make Yu-Gi-Oh more fun, and hell, that in and of itself may then create a new style of play or a new format altogether. Like there's a lot you can do here to really be able to bring out more of what Yu-Gi-Oh can be, albeit in the digital form that Master Duel is, because at the end of the day, when it comes to the competitive nature, the ability to be able to play Yu-Gi-Oh against other people, to be able to better understand what Yu-Gi-Oh is, albeit that the card pools and ban lists are a bit different, but it doesn't change the fact that Master Duel is way more accessible to people, because it's a free to play game at the end of the day. Granted, I wish we had more sort of single player content, but you know what, I'll take what I can get. I mean, if they, you know, brought back some of the tag force games from the PSP into, like, you know, the modern day, that would be great. I would absolutely love that. Hell, even like the idea of doing tag duels with like someone by your side, like you know, another person, and then you'd be facing against two people who are also doing tag duels. Like there's a lot of really interesting ideas that Konami can partake in to make the KC Cup so much more interesting, so much more different. Yeah, no one's ever going to be truly happy, but as long as you're trying different things, seeing what works and then sticking with what does, and then eventually when people do get tired of it, then you try to shake things up a little bit more once again. You kind of have that idea and some blueprint and formats from like previous times that the KC Cup has been done. But above all else, it seems that like with the KC Cup up, you know, coming up in, you know, the next kind of week or so, it does beg the question as to why they even announced that there's going to be another one in in Master Duel in December, which is interesting to think about because that's already been announced. And so I'm just kind of thinking, isn't it a bit too early? And I feel like a lot of other people are also feeling that within the Yu-Gi-Oh community, but I don't know, man. That's just kind of my brief overall thoughts on the situation. Again, comment below on what you guys think about the whole idea of just crunching for nothing but, you know, duels of Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh duels for just 3 straight days. You know, chuck those comments into the comments below. Like, just let me know about what you guys think about all of this. And like the video if you liked it. Of course, subscribe to the channel. I am trying to aim for 100 subs by the end of the year, but I also do want my videos to go out to more people, and hopefully maybe more competitive Yu-Gi-Oh players watch this video, listen to what I have to say, and agree, disagree, you know, provide commentary on their perspective and things like that. Because again, that's kind of what really helps evolve a person's perspective is, especially for someone like myself who's never actually played competitively. Though then again, you know, playing competitively is just not viable, especially when you live in like the part of the world that I do. So there is that as well. But yeah, with all of that said and done, I do upload every day, so I'll see you guys tomorrow.